Welcome to Gorgeous Truckers Podcast. It is your girl, Mia Millions, and I am excited that you decided to join us today. On this podcast, we explore a wide range of topics, such as what's happening in the transportation industry. We'll also be conducting interviews from current transportation professionals. Our goal is to provide you with thought-provoking content and insightful conversations that will help you along your journey in the transportation field. So sit back, relax, and let's dive into today's
to Gorgeous
episode.
Truckers Podcast. It is your girl, Mia Millions. Yep, this is our first episode. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Again, I just can't express how much I truly appreciate all of the love and all of the support that you guys give me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So this is our first episode. We have an interview today with Mr. Timothy Hawkins Jr., who has actually been in transportation for a couple of years. So we're waiting on him to call in right now. Make sure you guys, while we're waiting, go and subscribe to Gorgeous Truckers. We are on YouTube. We are also on Facebook. We are also on Instagram. And you can go visit our website at www.gorgeoustruckhers.com. So don't forget to go and visit us there. Hey, Timothy.
Hey, how you doing?
How are you?
Doing good in yourself?
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me? Nah, you can't hear me now?
I can't hear.
It says everybody can see and hear you.
Say that again.
It says everybody can see and hear you.
Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay, cool.
I can hear you. I can hear you. Hey,
Hey, how you doing?
hey. So, before we start, I want to welcome Timothy Hawkins Jr. Thank you so much for joining Gorgeous Truck Her podcast. Timothy, I kind of told him a little bit about you already before you called in, so I will let
It was all
you.
nice things.
It was all good stuff. I didn't go too far into it because I want you to I want you to tell your story. So I did tell them that you've been in transportation for a couple of years,
Yeah.
but we'll go into that here in just a second. So again, for everybody that's tuning in, thank you guys for tuning in. And again, go subscribe and follow Gorgeous Truck Hers on Facebook as well as YouTube. We are also on Instagram, and again, visit us at www.gorgeoustruckhers.com. So, Tim,
Hmm.
how are you? How you doing?
I'm doing
Been
good.
going on? What's been going on in your life recently?
Everything great. You know what I'm saying? I don't got no complaints. And even if I did, ain't nobody gonna listen. So, every day
Yeah,
above good.
I feel that. I listen. I
Oh,
think I
oh
listen
yeah,
pretty
you do.
good.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
do. You do.
Okay. See, don't call me out like that. So tell the people a little bit about how many years you've been in transportation and kind of what you're currently doing right now in your life.
Well, I've been in transportation like 2 years right now. I haul fuel, making six figures right now. So everything is good. I made a good transition in what we're doing right now. So that's about it.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So you've been in transportation for a couple years, and I don't know if y'all heard him say he's already making six figures, and that's only in 2 years. So I be telling y'all need to get into transportation. Y'all better
That-
listen. You
That's a
know,
fact.
so before transportation or before CDL driving, what were you doing
I was
before?
doing sales at Pepsi. You know what I'm saying? So I got into trucking because, I was a guy that touched all the freight, put everything on the shelves, but somebody got to drop it off. So these guys was making 20, 30,000 more than me a year, but not
Yeah.
touching nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'm sweating, my hip hurt. I'm in my 30s. I was going crazy, out
You
of
was
my
doing the back breaking work.
yeah, for real. You know what I'm saying? So it was crazy, but I was like, okay. So you know how you get complacent into what you're making and what you're doing because you're good at it, you mastered it.
Hmm.
Like, oh, I know the shortcuts and stuff, but everything new is gonna be scary sometimes. But I say, I need to jump off the porch with this because it's gonna be life changing. So a guy came to me, he persuaded me to go, but it's been life changing ever since.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you was you was the one actually doing all the work, but
Correct.
the guy that was doing the least amount of work was making the most money,
Correct.
and that's what made you transition into transportation. So did
Absolutely.
somebody have a hand in that? Like, did you go to who did you talk to about getting into transportation, or did you just kind of think of that?
Well, yeah, just like we diagnose ourselves with health wise through Google, that's
Mm,
exactly what I did, right? I went to Google and I Googled how do I go to truck school, CDLA school for free. So basically, what happens is, it's called like they employer pays for it. So it's employer paid for. So they endorse you. So they'll say, hey, we'll pay $5,000 for you to go to school, but you got to come to us for a year and work it off.
mm-hmm.
So you get your CDL for free. And traditionally, how it's supposed to go is after school, you're supposed to get with that company that paid for you, stay with them
Right,
for a year.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you're currently with Pepsi.
No, I left.
Oh,
I left
oh.
Pepsi, right?
Okay,
So
okay,
when I went to school for a different company, I took a leave of absence from Pepsi so that I could go to school and still have my job while I waited to,
okay.
can't start immediately after you get left from school. They don't say, hey, you graduate Tuesday, you leaving Wednesday. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
So you have to wait for your placement. You got to wait for a trainer. It's a lot of things that go into it. So I didn't want to have no income. So I took a leave of absence from Pepsi. And then after I, got an opportunity to drive, I went to go do that and I quit Pepsi.
So you finessed Pepsi.
100%. Allegedly.
See,
Allegedly.
I told y'all, look, I told y'all at Gorgeous Truckers, we ain't sugarcoat nothing. It just is what it is. And for Timothy, I see he's been in it for 2 years, which is really a short amount of time
Yeah.
for a driver, and now he's making six figures. So that's the whole point of Gorgeous Truckers. And what we're trying to get out is just to make sure that we just want y'all to understand that there is so many opportunities in transportation that you can get into, and that is money in it. You know, when I'm out every day, like I told this story, I tell this story all the time when I'm out and I see all these people and these men and these women that doing back-breaking work and they working 12, 12, 13 hour days and then they still barely making ends meet. And it just always makes me be like, God, I wonder if they know they can make coming in the door 60,000 a year, just by getting their CDL, keeping their driving record clean, and driving. So that is the whole purpose of Gorgeous Trucker. So Timothy's story is a great one because he is a prime example of how you can get into the transportation field and start making your money and stacking your money up. So Timothy, so what would you say are the benefits of getting your commercial driver's license outside of the money? Because I mean, I know you rolling in dough right now.
Yeah.
So, what is other benefits that you can see?
Um, I think the number one thing is being your own boss. I think this is the number one thing of being an entrepreneur. Like trucking is the easiest place that you can get your money and you can become your own boss. You can put a down payment on a truck and go on your own, right? You just got to get your experience up. So I would say the number one benefit to get your commercial driver's license is freedom. In my
Mm,
for
I
sure.
like that
Yeah.
freedom. So speaking of freedom, so right now, are you over the road OTR?
No.
So
I
you're local.
Yeah, I'm local. I'm home every day.
Ooh,
Yeah.
listen, that's another benefit. Um, that's rare
That's rare.
for 2 years. Somebody that's only been in the game for 2 years and he get to come home every day,
Yeah.
and he making six figures.
You got to think though, COVID did a lot of damage, but
It
it
did.
also helped out a lot of people, right? Because you got to think we got an 80,000 truck driving shortage right now. So they lowered the qualifications at many jobs. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they just need the people, but they just up the training on time training time on, to actually get on your own. So
Mm-hmm.
the best time right now to get in transportation. My story is unorthodox and just like, I was just very due diligent and it's not normal because I only did over the road for 3 years. Now, to people who don't understand,
Yeah.
over the road means that you out over the road for 3 weeks and you come home for a week. Or if you went like a traditional company, You out
Mhm.
for a month and come home 2 days. So, and usually what happens is you got to be over the road for 1 year in order to even touch regional, which is home every weekend, or to be local at home every day. I was over the road for 3 months because
Mhm.
such a shortage. So I just got to look every day, and I end up like becoming local after 3 months, which is unheard of. So this is the best time to get into transportation because you could be home every day. And the first year that I worked transportation, I cleared 62,000.
The first year.
First year out the gate, and
That's
that
what
was
I'm talking about.
that was Saturday, Sunday off, home every day, 8 to 4. Didn't touch
Ooh,
nothing.
man, that's how you do it. I
That's
like it. I
that's a
like
fact.
it.
Yeah.
Um, so those are, anything that we do, no matter I feel like no matter what job we have, no matter how good the money is, there's good and there's bad. There's the positives and the negatives. What would you say are some of the negatives regarding transportation or some things that you may dislike or,
So the one thing that I dislike is like the perception of what a truck driver is, because a lot of people go from the old days, right? A truck driver is stupid, or they fall asleep at the wheel, or they're just a number, right? So they look at us. A lot of people don't like truckers, right? They don't like truck drivers. They look at, oh, he just driving, like just drop it off and leave. They don't know your name, so it's kind of an impersonal game when you looking at it from a customer aspect. So when you walking up and you delivering to Publix or Staples or Zephyr Hills, they kind of don't know you, even though they see you every day. They just see you
yeah,
as a number instead of like as your name. So that's one thing that that I dislike. But at the same time, these are not the people that sign my check. So I'm always kind because you always got to realize what logo is on your shirt, because you're not you right now. You're the face of the company. So regardless
exactly.
of somebody treating you, you treat them kind back, and that's
Yeah,
how you know what I'm saying. Because they will call because they waiting on it, but you just kill them with kindness and keep getting your money.
yeah.
Right.
So have you ran into, outside of people feeling like truckers are stupid, have you ran into any type of situations pertaining to like discrimination or people not wanting you, you know, in their establishment because of, the color of your skin? Have you ran into any of those type of situations?
Never. And that what's tripped me out is crazy, right? Because that's one great thing about that. It's a gift and a curse, right? Because they all look at us as the same. So no
Mm.
matter if you're Asian, black, white, purple, whatever it is, they all look at us as truckers. But that's a good thing too, right? Because in our community, I remember when I broke down one day, and I somebody who I that looked like they would never help me out, right? They
Mhm.
ended up helping me and staying with me for 2 hours and stay with make sure that I was good, because the trucker community is just that. They don't care what you look like. They
Yep.
just want you to be straight because they was there at that point in time, at some time in their career, right? So they just help you out. And that's the biggest thing. The trucker community, they all 99% of them show love. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They do that. They don't care what you look like. They're like,
Yeah.
yo, you good? No, all right, cool. I'm gonna help you out. Let me just park real quick and I got you. So that's one thing. It's a big loving community. I'm not gonna lie about that. It's really good.
That's awesome. That's good. That's really good to know because I think also sometimes people think that when you get out there in on the road that you just by yourself and you're really
Right,
not. Once you get out there and you start seeing all these trucks
right.
and when you go to these truck stops and everybody's there, like everybody kind of looks out for each other and everybody, you know, if something don't look right over there at your truck or they gonna alert somebody that something don't look right. So I think people the fact that you said that is really good that y'all are all one out there. All y'all are just
Absolutely.
trying to get back home to your families at the end
That's
of
a
the day.
fact. The number
Yeah,
one rule of trucking is to make it back home every day.
that's it.
That's
That's
it.
it. I
Period.
I love it.
Right.
So um so what are some of the challenges that you faced outside of you saying that people kind of treat you as you're stupid outside of those type of things what kind of challenges did you have an issue going since you
Right.
kind of a newbie
Yeah, it's a fact.
did you have any issues when you went to school like because a lot of people's issues in school is like the pre-trip right
Right.
the
Yeah.
pre-trip is like that kills everybody.
Yeah, for sure.
So, what
Okay.
were some challenges that you had on your journey?
So the pre-trip gonna give you anxiety, right? But you know, you an OG in the game, so you know that the pre-trip that they teach is not what we do in real life,
Right.
right? The pre-trip that they want us to do take like 15, 20 minutes, but you know, on average, it takes like 3 to 5 minutes to do a pre-trip.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So of course that was a challenge because I had anxiety. They wanted me to name the adjusters, the slackers, the this and that, and I'm just like the PSI, like it was just crazy, right?
Mhm.
But it's
Mhm.
like literally like 90 things you got to name, and it's like
It
holy.
is.
That was the hardest thing in school, and that's the first thing that you got to learn, or they will not let you go to the next phase,
Nope.
right? So
Nope.
you got to know your truck, but that's safety. You
That is
got to
safety.
know what you're driving before you drive so that you can be safe. So the way
Safety
that they
first.
got it set up is amazing. So you need to know those things, but you're not going to
Mhm.
know that until you actually start driving and you recognize those things that do go wrong. You say, oh man, I know, let me check this and do this because I know that's what I learned. So
Yeah.
that was one of the biggest challenges in school was the pre-trip for sure, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you remember anything from your school?
A
From your
thousand.
schooling?
Yeah, 1,000%. My school was different. It was,
Okay. So that's good. That's
they
good.
do
But
that
you
all.
know what? If I'm gonna be all the way honest,
Mm,
before I got back into when I was because I came from I was a safety director,
yeah.
and so I kind of got out of transportation driving wise,
Right.
and once I got into instructing, I realized how much stuff I had forgotten. Just like you, I'm like, what is it again? Because
Yeah.
you don't do it. Like
Right.
you know what to look for. You know
Yeah.
if a tire looks bald that
Yeah,
you need to
you
do
know
something
that you
with.
know where the
You
hot
know to
spot
look.
at.
But
Yeah,
to
you know,
name it and to say
yeah,
it, that's different. And so when I got back into it, I really had to like study. I had my paper. I was listening to some of the other older instructors to do their pre-trip, and I'm sitting there just like a rookie in the game because the thing is, a lot of times I think people think just because just because I've been in it for 18 years don't mean I know everything. I still
right,
learn. I'm a
right,
always transportation. One thing about transportation is it's a forever changing career
a
or
hundred.
industry, not career, industry. It's
Uh,
always something being added or
But
taken away.
but the concept is the same. Just like the preacher, like you said, you know dang well we're not taking no air pressure meter and sticking it in the hole and stuff. Hey, is it cracks? Is it abrasion? Is it hot spots? We're gonna kick
Yep,
it. If it's good, we're looking at it and say, okay, no problem, and then we're
yep.
going on to the next thing, right? So you're absolutely correct. But transportation is adding and always taking something away, but the concept is always the same, which is
Mhm.
regarding safety. So
Mhm.
a guy that's been driving for 20 years can still drive today, and a guy that's still driving today that learned today can drive 20 years from now. So even though it's changing, it's still the same concept.
Yep. I
You see what
agree.
I'm saying?
I agree.
Right,
You gonna always put. I I guess that could be a good and bad thing depending on the person.
right,
I like learning.
right,
I like, sometimes I get bored of doing the same thing every day.
right.
So for me, learning is good. But for some people, you have like the older people that been in it for 40 years. All this new, like the ELD,
Yeah, all that. Okay,
they was used to them paper logs. See, now
right.
you came in on e-logs,
Yes,
but
yeah.
I had paper logs back
And
in my
you was dying. You have arthritis
yeah.
right now from writing all that stuff. So, so but like
Yep.
you're right, because the OGs is like I don't even know how to, I got a restriction on my license. I don't even know how to drive manual. So they
Yeah.
look at me like, what? You know what I'm saying? So regardless of the situation, you're right. A guy 40 years ago, but this is the thing though. Usually, this is why we get that stigma about like we're not intelligent because back then men that wasn't good at school, you know what I'm saying, and didn't couldn't go to college and things like that. In order for them to take care of their family, they did trucking because I made them the most money without having a lot of head knowledge, you know,
Mhm.
educational standpoint. So
Mhm.
they did what they had to do to feed their family. You know what I'm saying? But the game has absolutely changed, but for the better. You
I
understand?
agree.
And so, regardless of the situation, it's less work. You should on the like you said, the ELD side. I couldn't even to drive the straight lines and be doing this and then
You gotta
getting
have your ruler.
where you
Yep.
at today and
Yep.
all that. I'm not doing all that. Just give me
Yep.
the GPS and let me get the tablet and we good. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't
Right.
want to do all that, right? So regardless, you're right. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, y'all know everything. So when, but because you know when the tablet go down, you know we got to go to paper long.
Exactly.
Better be on point with that. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Exactly.
like, dang, you know, so you got to be on point with it. So no matter what, it all come back 360.
Yep.
So
I
it's all,
agree.
yeah, for
I
sure.
agree. So, do you plan on going into any other areas in transportation? You know, like what is your 5 year plan look like right now? Like, do you plan on just driving for this time, or do you plan on going into any other areas of transportation?
Nah, 5 years I'll probably be retired. To be real with you, and if I'm not retired, I'm gonna be in logistics because in the next 5 years I'll have 2 trucks. I'll be making a passive income off of 2 drivers and things like that,
Hmm.
my own. And I just go into logistics and start using my mind more than my physical body because you at some point you want to elevate yourself, right? Like I get it, you know, some people want to drive for 20 years and that's cool, but that comes with a lot of stuff. You sitting
Hmm.
that for a long period of time over time is a wear on the body just like with anything else. So at some point you want to be the person that helped you out when you came in. So you want to be a terminal manager. You want to be in logistics. You want to
Hmm.
do the freight and stuff like that and just
Hmm.
kick back and chill because you're going to make some great money doing that as well. And you just pull up everybody at that point so they can become you too. So yeah, but 5 years, I'll be dying honest with you. I'll probably be making $500,000 net in
Hmm.
5 years for easy,
Easy. That's
easy,
easy money.
easy.
That's what I'm talking about. Um, so this is a funny story with me. So even though I've driven for a living. I get motion sickness when somebody else drives, right? So I can't be driven. I need to do the driving.
No team driving there?
No, that
Oh,
I would get extremely sick. So, do you have those same type of issues? Like, do you have an issue when other people drive, or are you okay with
I got a personality issue. I don't want to be next to nobody just in general. So it ain't about being sick. I just don't want to be next to nobody. I
so
don't.
you like being
But
by yourself?
yeah, because when you let somebody else drive you, you putting your life in their hands,
True.
right? So I don't want none of that smoke at all. So absolutely not. I don't get sick. I'm just not doing it. So at
Yeah.
the end of the day, it's just like, nah, I'm good on you, player. It's all good.
Okay. So
Yeah.
no team driving for you.
You
So
know.
speaking of team driving,
Mhm.
do you feel like road life gets lonely? Like, what about Have you been on the road, like road? So,
Yeah.
this is a two-part question. The
Mm.
first one is, since you've been on the road, how are you? Was you in a relationship at that time?
I was in a situationship. Yeah.
So, how did that affect your situationship with you
Okay.
being on the road?
See, let me tell you this, right? So it affects it because it's about trust, right?
Yep.
Because you could do anything you want and your partner will never know, right?
Right.
But regardless, that put a strain on it because of the situation that I've been gone for so long. So once you get used to standing next to somebody, all that's it's like this. If you go to the gym every week and you've been doing that for a year, you know how much weight you're gonna gain next year if you don't go to the gym for 6 months? It's
Mhm.
gonna be faster than the next person that never went to the gym. You get me?
Mhm.
So regardless, it's the same thing with anything. So yeah, it took a toll, but what the thing is, you gotta have understanding before you go out, and you gotta have a goal. Hey, babe, I'm gonna do this for 6 months over the road, and then I could be home more. Could you hold me
Yeah.
in? So you gotta have that conversation with your loved ones, because that's not only with with your partner, it's with your kids, it's with your mother, it's with anybody that you see on a normal basis, because it is gonna be. But you need to say that and speak up, because you know what they're gonna do. It's that phone that's gonna save your mental. So hey, get on the phone. Hey, what's going? You know what I'm saying? And this
What you
is
mean, save your mental?
because when you go over the road, you know, monotony is make you tired or just put you in some type of different trance anyway, right? You keep if you do something for so long and you're looking at the same thing, it probably would just kind of a little bit drive you crazy a little bit, right? So
Mhm.
you got to deal with your demons before you go out over the road. Because if you don't, you're going to drive yourself crazy. You're going to be extremely depressed because you're in a situation you've never been before. You're not going to go
Mhm.
back home. You're not in jail. You're free, but you're still trapped a little bit, right? You in this little box space and you're like, man, you know, after driving, what I'm going to do? I don't have the
Yeah.
TV. I don't have this. You know, the comfortabilities, you know what I'm saying? The luxuries go away. So you got to make sure that you have your demons outside of your closet and deal with them before you get back on the road, because it will do some type of, work on your mind. So you got to have some emotional support, you know what I'm saying, to make sure that your mental health is intact for sure.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, I guess being out there on the road can kind of I guess it would depend on the person's personality though.
For sure. Because
Um
some boys, they don't never go home and they love it.
yeah.
You get
Yeah.
me? So yeah, it always depends on the person. But the thing is, even with me, with my experience, after a few weeks, and I went to Love's and I seen how nice Love's was, and I'm like, oh wait, and I'm visiting different cities for free, and then I'm taking my 34-hour reset, and I'm in Chicago downtown for. It's really I got used to it, and it ended up being like me traveling the world for free, and I got out of that, and you know what I'm saying, and I adapted to that, you know what I'm saying, and it was really an
Mhm.
experience for real. And it makes
Okay.
you appreciate going local. It makes you appreciate it.
I think going local, I mean, you know, local for me would be the thing to be because, who doesn't like going home every night
Right.
at the end of their day?
Right.
But like you said, there's some people out there that don't go home. They like being out there on the road. Um, and they like driving. They want to drive forever until they can't drive no more, I guess. So I guess to each his own. That's the thing about transportation is you have to find what works for you. If you want to
Fact.
be out there on the road, it's doable.
Right.
A lot of people, I know quite a few people that live out of their truck. They don't even have rent.
That's a fact.
So, I mean, you saving money on bills, and all you doing is paying, you know, if you are driving for a company, you ain't even paying for gas.
That's
All
a
you
fact.
paying for is just your food and your entertainment.
And
So,
you go with a company and lease a truck for 18 months, that truck is yours. You an
mhm,
entrepreneur in 18 months
mhm,
off the rip. So like if you really want to double down and you say, yo, I'm gonna do this for 18 months and you get it, yo, that truck is yours at the end. You was entrepreneur off the rip. You never will go
yeah,
6 figures ever in your life again after 18 months. It's amazing. You know what I'm saying? So
yep,
it's no other business like that ever.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so we are down to about 2 minutes.
Mm.
So now we're gonna play a game because I'm gonna do this at the end of every interview. It's
Cool.
called rapid fire, right? So
Right.
I'm gonna give you two options, and you just say which one best that you would prefer between the two.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right. So work or play,
Play.
love or friendship,
Love.
money or happiness,
Happiness.
cats or dog,
Dog.
salty or sweet,
Salty.
and mornings or evenings.
Evenings all day. Very
All
cool.
right, y'all. Timothy, thank you so much for joining Gorgeous Truckers podcast and just taking time out of your day to come and talk to me as well as all of the viewers. Those out there that are watching this, please make sure you take all this information that you're getting from the interview. These are drivers that's already in it. So you want to take their experiences and what they are telling you and use it toward your own journey. That's what Gorgeous Truckers is here for. We're here to help you along your path and to help you figure out which journey you want to take. So, again, thank you guys so much for joining. Timothy, thank you again. And make sure y'all go and subscribe and tune in next week for our next interview. Thanks, Timothy. Talk
No.
to you guys later.
Later.